Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. This afternoon from Sunset Park in Brush, it's a Patriot League East clash as the visiting Bennett Tigers take on the Brush Beet Diggers. A pleasant good afternoon, a very, very warm Monday. I'm John Beltran. Welcome to the Garnsey & Wheeler Beet Digger pregame show. Garnsey & Wheeler is your in-town Ford dealer offering great deals on new Ford cars and trucks, a large selection of first-quality used vehicles, and a top-notch service department. That's all at Garnsey & Wheeler Ford on West Highway 34 in Fort Morgan. The Bennett Tigers have been the nemesis of the Brush Beet Diggers the last couple of years. Bennett has won the last 4 meetings in this series, but those weren't as big because Bennett was participating in another division of the Patriot League, or even outside the Northern Plains District under the old format. But this year, a little bit different. Your 5 Patriot League East teams, of course, are Bennett, Brush, Burlington, Yuma, and Strasburg. So the Beet Diggers have got to at least, at the very worst, split against Bennett in order to have a shot to win the Patriot League East. And what means is that they really have to win today because this game is at home. They'll play at Bennett next Tuesday, 8 days from today. So this being the pivotal matchup, and both teams are coming off very, very, very shaky performances. The Beet Diggers lost in Loveland on Saturday to Resurrection Christian 19-4. It's a game that Ryan and everybody wants to forget. Beet Diggers were just never in that game. They had their 8-game winning streak snapped and fell to 10-3 with the loss. And meanwhile, as for the Bennett Tigers, they are 7-3 on the year, but they're coming off a 6-1 loss to Frederick, a team that on paper they should be better than. And obviously they have the better record, but it just didn't happen for Bennett. That game was on Thursday, I believe, so Bennett has not played in 5 days. Both teams will be featuring their top pitchers, so this should be a very, very competitive game with both teams at 4-0 in the Patriot League East and both teams with 3 losses overall. Momentarily, we'll give you the starting lineup brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions. We do remind you, Cargill Meat Solutions, a proud sponsor of local sports and the community, and they're excited to be a part of the KSIR B106 Scholarship Program. At the end of the year, 1 Brush and 1 Fort Morgan student-athlete will receive a scholarship thanks to Cargill Meat Solutions and KSIR B106. Bennett wearing their black today, coached by Joe Stemo. The Beet Diggers in their maroon. Their head coach is Mark Muniz. It's been a battle over the years, but as I alluded to earlier, Bennett has dominated this series, winning 2 games last year and 2 games as well in 2003. It'll be a pair of right-handers, Charlie Goodnight going for Bennett and Terry Steiner going for Brush. So this is number 1 against number 1. The Beet Diggers realizing the importance of today's game. And both teams, again, looking for some confidence after what happened in their last games, with the Beet Diggers losing by 15 and Bennett losing by 5. Nonetheless, you get a fresh start. That's the beauty of baseball. Plenty of Patriot League action going on later this week. Of course, this is the only Patriot League game today. Next up for the Beet Diggers, they will be taking on Yuma on Saturday in a doubleheader from Yuma. First pitch at 10:30 right here on 1010. And, you know, the Indians you thought maybe were a gimme, but watch out because Yuma over the weekend defeated Burlington twice, their first 2 wins of the year. And we talked to their head coach, Brady Neiswanger, earlier today on Preps and More, the daily source for high school sports weekdays from 1 to 3. He feels they're a much more confident team right now. I mean, usually teams are after a victory or 2, but remember, this was a team that lost their first 8 games and now has really responded with a couple of victories over Burlington. So let's see if they can carry that momentum into the Brush doubleheader on Saturday. And Yuma's first goal was really just to be competitive against Burlington. Instead, they won those 2 games rather handily, so it'll be interesting to see what the Beet Diggers do in a road doubleheader. Speaking of the road, this is it for Brush in terms of regular season games at Sunset Park. As I mentioned, the 2 games in Yuma Saturday, next Tuesday in Bennett, then the following Thursday in Johnstown against Roosevelt, and then they play a week from Saturday in Eaton against the Reds. You want to talk about a tough schedule. I mean, Bennett today, you can erase the Yuma games in terms of being tough, but if you look at Bennett twice, and regardless of what happens today, they'll still have a very good record going into that game next Tuesday. And Roosevelt has lost only once, and Eaton is the four-time defending 3A champions, and they're 15-0, and they beat the Beat Diggers 12-0 right here last month. So Brush has their work cut out for them. It's just going to be tough for the Beat Diggers to get as many as 13 victories because they're going to have to beat a very, very good team in order to get 13. They have 10 right now, and assuming they take care of business on Saturday and defeat Yuma twice, which obviously they have to do because those are Patriot League East games then the challenge really begins with the two Bennett games, the Eaton game and the Roosevelt game. Some say the challenge really began last Saturday against Resurrection Christian. That's kind of a throwout game for the very reason that one of the goals in that game for head coach Mark Muniz was to establish some pitching depth to see if he had somebody there other than Terry Steiner and Anthony Gonzalez who could get the job done on the mound. And quite frankly, that didn't work out for the Beat Diggers on Saturday, so it looks like they're going to be riding Steiner and Gonzalez. They'll try a little bit more Dustin Bass and maybe Michael Cummings and Brady Needens and Antonio Melendez, but those are pitchers right now that are very raw, very green, and really can't be counted on too much because pitching is not their primary position. We'll bring you the Cargill Meat Solutions starting lineup momentarily. Let's also tell you that Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance offers Pinnacle Insurance to protect your business. Pinnacle is Colorado's most dominant writer of workman's compensation insurance. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance locally in Fort Morgan and Brush. They also offer home, health, auto, and farm insurance. Well, the Beat Diggers really haven't had a bad weather game this year. And unless you consider warm temperatures bad weather, then this is another beauty today. First pitch will be thrown momentarily. The Beat Diggers have yet to take the field. And once they do, we'll give you the defensive lineup as well as the Cargill Meat Solutions starting lineup. Coming up tonight on 10:10 at 8 o'clock, it'll be the Nuggets, who look like they could get the 7th spot in the West, maybe as high as the 6th. They'll be fighting with Sacramento and Houston for that spot, and more than likely they would get it over Sacramento because Houston just trounced them on Saturday in Houston. But the Nuggets taking on the Suns tonight in Phoenix, and Denver's 24-3 in their last 27, but 2 of those 3 losses came to the Suns, so let's see if Denver can recover from that big-time loss on Saturday to Houston. We'll have that game at 8 o'clock right here on 10:10. Of course, plenty of Rockies baseball on KSIR as well once the Nuggets season is over or once the Nuggets do not have a game the same day as the Rockies. Rockies take on Arizona tonight, first of a 3-game set from Coors Field. Sean Chacon goes for Colorado, and Brandon Webb at 2-0 will pitch for Arizona. Again, first pitch at 6:35. The coaches have exchanged the starting lineups, and momentarily we'll take it over to the PA announcer, athletic director John Schaefer, to get our Pledge of Allegiance started. Well, the Beat Diggers were in their maroon, but I guess those were the warm-up jerseys, so they have put on their grays today with the word Diggers labeled across the chest. The Beat Diggers are on a 6-game winning streak at home. Let's see if that matters. Ryan says he wants 7. At least 7. Ryan says he doesn't want to see a loss for the remainder of the year at home or on the road, but he's asking for a lot here. These are some very, very tough teams in Class 3A, and the Beat Diggers are in the upper echelon, but not on the top line yet. You have to hand that over to Eaton and to Roosevelt for now, and maybe even La Junta, which is not having as good a year as they did in 2004, but certainly one of the better teams in Class 3A. It was La Junta that eliminated Brush last year in the Class 3A state quarterfinals. So we'll be going momentarily here from Sunset Park. B&B Appliance at 502 Ensign in downtown Fort Morgan. That is the place to shop for all of your appliance needs. B&B Appliance, a member of the Brand Source Retail Program. Okay, first we'll give you the Cargill Meat Solutions starting lineup just for the Bennett Tigers. Batting first will be the center fielder C.J. Stemo. The right fielder Mike Sigmund hits second. First baseman Mike Scherer is in the third position. The catcher Brad Lashon hits fourth. Kyle Damoni, the shortstop, hits fifth. The second baseman Shane Colson hits sixth. Javier Ibarra, the designated hitter, will hit seventh. Left fielder Sean Ronan, we remember his name, as well as Charlie Goodnight, today's starting pitcher, and Mike Scherer, and C.J. Stemo, and Shane Colson from that very, very talented basketball team. So Ronan hitting eighth, and the ninth hitter is the third baseman, Nate McDonald. They're still going over the measurements here at Sunset Park. It is 300 down the lines, 380 to straightaway center, and not too much more shallow in the power alleys. That flag out there is whipping a little bit in center. Still can't tell if it's blowing in or out, but it's really not a factor right now, that's for sure. Not a factor, one, because they haven't started play, and two, because it's not whipping that hard. We'll have to see once balls get into the air whether that will play a factor.
Good afternoon.
In today's game.
Welcome to Sunset Park.
Let's take it over to the AD, John Schaefer.
Against Bennett High School. The product of high school sports is not championships, but the development of lifetime values such as respect. Interscholastic competition teaches respect not only for the game, but for those who play it, coach it, and watch it. The lessons of respect extend beyond the playing field and into the classroom and our daily lives. Once again, welcome to Brush High School in today's game. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise, remove your hats, join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, welcome to Sunset Park for today's Blue Division matchup between the Bennett Tigers and your Brush Beat Diggers.
The Beat Diggers will take the field shortly.
Top of the first.
As we told you, that Cargill Meat Solutions starting lineup. Once again for Bennett, Stemo, Sigmund, Scherer, Lashon, Damoni, Colson, Ibarra, Ronan, and McDonald.
Catcher Brad Lashon.
The Beat Diggers defensively will set up like this. At first base will be Eddie Sharman. Over at second, Josh Gutierrez. Cameron Alexander at third. The shortstop is none other than Dustin Bass. In left field, Matt Ely. Anthony Gonzalez in center. Michael Cummings in right behind the plate is Travis Bass. And on the mound, right-hander Terry Steiner. He is their fireballer. Steiner with a record of 4-1, an ERA of 2.47. In 34 innings, he has struck out 42, and he's walked only 16. He can get wild on occasion. He's hit 10 batters this year, and he's thrown 10 wild pitches. Steiner also has one save on that ledger, and you look at Steiner's stats as compared to the rest of the staff, there is a reason that he's getting the start today. He's got by far the lowest ERA. Next up would be Dustin Bass in limited action at 4.2, and then Anthony Gonzalez at 5.76. He's nearly 2.5 runs lower than the team earned run average of 4.76. So here we go. It'll be Terry Steiner pitching to the opening hitter, C.J. Stemo. He's had some big games in years past against the Beat Diggers, not only offensively but defensively as well. This will be righty against righty once Steiner completes his warm-ups. And the key for him is just keeping that fastball up and in and low and away. We saw what happened to that fastball when he threw it on a couple of occasions to Craig Firstenau of Strasburg a couple of Saturdays ago. The baseball landed on the other side of the fence. Bennett in their orange socks and the white pinstripe pants. And we are underway with Steiner delivering the first pitch to Travis Bass, and here it is. Fastball down the middle for a strike, just above the knees. Bennett has demonstrated throughout the years they're a good fastball hitting team, so the Beat Diggers have to look sharp defensively. The 0-1, the breaking ball is upstairs. The opening pitch was brought to you by Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard. The wind and the 1-1. Fastball just off the outside corner. 2-1. 1402 Mill Street in Brush, a proud sponsor of Beat Digger Athletics, is Ackley Building Center. The wind and the 2-1 pitch, and the curveball over the head and over the back of the hitter, and it's 3-1. Well, no matter how good a pitcher you are, that's the one thing you want to avoid, is walking the leadoff hitter in any inning, let alone in the first inning before your team has even taken a swing. 3 balls and 1 strike. Bass setting up, pitch by Steiner, and that one's low. One with a fastball, but it's a 5-pitch walk to C.J. Stemo, and immediately that spells trouble for the Beat Diggers. Left-handed hitting right fielder Mike Siegman is now the hitter. And Stemo can fly, so Travis Bass is going to have to throw a bullet down there, and Steiner's going to have to hold him close. The stretch, 3-step lead, the pitch. Fastball is off the glove of Bass all the way to the screen. Advancing to second is Stemo, and that will be a pass ball. And already a man in scoring position. 1 ball and no strikes. I would assume that Steiner would also start next Tuesday's game against Bennett. Scoring to bunt is Siegman, and the pitch, and that is taken for a strike on the outer portion with a fastball, 1-1. Boy, if Siegman could bunt that ball down the third baseline, the Beat Diggers are in trouble. Alexander's back, and Gutierrez, the second baseman, cheating towards the bag, and that fastball's upstairs, 2-1. Steiner still trying to establish a strike zone, but it's early. It's been a while since he started a game. He's come into many games in relief. 2 balls and 1 strike with Stemo at second, nobody out in the first. The pitch, swung on and missed. He threw the fastball right by Siegman, and it's 2-2. Well, that's what Steiner has on the Beat Diggers that nobody else has, a rocket arm. He's capable of blowing the fastball by hitters. 2-2 runner going. Fastball is high. Throw to third. Alexander trying to apply the tag off his glove. Backed up by the shortstop, Bass. And C.J. Stemo's in there. He might be hurt. I don't know if he stumbled into the bag. But he's definitely hurt, and now he's just clutching his head. Well, maybe he started clutching that. Now he's clutching something else. But it's a stolen base for Stemo, and the Beat Diggers really fell asleep there because Bass had to double clutch, and Alexander was not next to the bag. Stemo's still on his side right now on the foul side of third base. He definitely hurt something down there. And Coach Joe Stemo just looking over CJ. Let's tell you that Bank of the West has been exceeding expectations since 1874. Bank of the West has a commitment to help customers reach personal financial goals, a concept that giant banks don't always practice. A commitment to service, 130 years strong and growing stronger every day. Bank of the West, 120 East Kiowa in Fort Morgan. Well, Stemo now on the seat of his pants, trying to shake off whatever injury he sustained. And by the way he's reacting, he really got his bell rung, or the wind knocked out of him or something. But this is one tough athlete. He dominated the Beat Diggers this year in football. In fact, the Beat Diggers have not defeated Bennett in a team sport this year. 0-3 in basketball, and they lost in football, even though the Beat Diggers won that division. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stemo okay. He'll lead off of third. Let's see if Steiner can get the strikeout. Sharman on the edge of the grass at first base. The wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out with an outside corner fastball, and there's 1 down in the first.
Now stepping up, first baseman Mike Scherer.
There's Mike Scherer, the right-handed hitting first baseman for Bennett. This kid can hit. He has terrorized Brush pitching in the past, that is, and has done it this year to other opponents. The pitch, fastball up and in. Boy, he just missed that left shoulder. Steiner letting him know that he's going to work every part of the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Steiner operates from the stretch with Stemo at third, a short lead. And the 1-0. Swung on and missed. The fastball in the inside corner makes it 1-1. Boy, Steiner showing a live arm today, and that'll happen when you haven't pitched for a little bit. He's going right now on a full 3 days rest. The 1-1. Fastball is down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Bay Diggers will concede the run unless the ball's hit back to the mound or at first base to Sharman, who's just beyond the edge of the grass. 2-1 pitch. That is a fastball, a strike at the knees. 2-2. Steiner hasn't thrown a curveball in a while. I don't see a reason to throw one now. If they don't catch up to your fastball, you got to go with the smoke. And the 2-2. Breaking ball up and in. You can see that wrist bend a little bit, and he wanted to go with a hook. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brad Leishon on deck. Stemo leads from third. And the pitch, low and away. Well, by Steiner throwing a 2-2 breaking ball, he gave himself very little margin for error. That's his second walk of the inning. Here's Brad Leishon, another solid hitter in this Bennett lineup. He doesn't possess a ton of speed, so the Bee Diggers can turn a double play on a hard-hit grounder here towards the middle of the infield. And Scherer can run quite a bit. He might take off pretty early. Step off, nothing doing. 1 down here in the first. The one thing Steiner's doing that he doesn't want to do is extend that pitch count. The pitch home. That's a strike with a fastball in the outside corner at the knees. It's 0-1. At this point, if Scherer steals second, you just can't worry about him. You've got to trust your pitcher and your defense, knowing that Bennett should be able to get a run out of this with the heart of the order. Throw to third. Back in standing is Stemo. No balls and 1 strike to the cleanup hitter for Bennett. Another one from the right side. The pitch runner going, and that is upstairs. Throw back to third, and that is off the glove of Alexander on the foul side, but not far enough to advance the runner. It is a stolen base for Scherer. And the count will be 2-1. Steiner elects to wind up. A base hit gives Bennett a 2-0 lead. Leishon on top of the plate. The pitch swung on and missed. He blazed a fastball letter high right by the right-handed hitting catcher, and the count is even at 2-2. Boy, Steiner just overpowering Bennett so far. Can he put Leishon away? The wind. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and popped up in foul territory and out of play. That's the first contact made by a Bennett hitter. Well, Steiner will take that, but he'd like a strikeout even better. 2-2. Bass setting up on the outside. The wind and the pitch. Fastball very high. It's 3-2. And at the rate Steiner's going, if he lasts 7 innings, it'll be a little bit of an aberration. Maybe a miracle. I believe he's thrown. Yeah, he's over 20 pitches now. Payoff pitch. Swung on and foul back. Boy, Leishon getting a piece of the fastball. And because of that, this will be the 24th pitch of the first inning. Still nobody across for Bennett, but only 1 out. We're looking at least a 25 to 30 to 35 pitch inning. The 3-2. Swung on and popped up on the right side in foul territory. That one is out of play. One thing's for sure, Leishon is late on the Steiner fastball. Now you wonder if he'll try to cross him up, but the problem is the curveballs he's thrown in this game have not been close to the strike zone. And you might hand him a better pitch than the fastball. Wind and the 3-2. And that is outside and low. Steiner has loaded the bases on 3 walks.
At shortstop, Kyle Damoni.
Kyle Damoni, the right-handed hitting shortstop, is at the plate. Stemo at third, Scherer at second, and Leishon at first. Travis Bass pays a visit to his right-hander. Both are juniors. Damoni, the 5th hitter in this Bennett lineup. Well, the Bee Diggers would love a double play right here. That's the only way that you'll really shorten this pitch count for Steiner, and Steiner's going to elect to stretch. That way Stemo at third doesn't get that big of a lead. Hitting with an open stance is Damoni. The pitch, oh, that fastball not even close, way high. 1 ball and no strikes. Bass laying down the sign. And the pitch, and that is right there down the middle for a strike. Thigh high, and the count is even at 1-1. Bennett has loaded the bases without even putting the ball in play. The pitch, that is taken for a strike on the outside corner. At the knees with a fastball, it's 1-2. Now let's see if Steiner decides to come with a gas again. He stretches. The pitch, swung on and hit in the air into right center field. Michael Cummings, ranging to his right, is under it. He makes the grab. Stemo is going to score. The throw is into third. It's a sac fly by Kyle Damoni, and Bennett has the early 1-0 lead. But there are 2 down here in the first. Well, it could have been better, but it could have been worse, so the Beat Diggers will take that.
Shane Colson.
Scherer remains at second, and LeSean at first for Shane Colson. A right-handed hitter playing second base today. This is unusual for Colson to pitch. Swung on and laced down the left field line for a base hit. Matt Ely charges. He's got the ball, but he gets it back in very quickly, and the bases will be loaded as Scherer can only advance 90 feet. Well, that fastball was down the middle and low. And if you don't elevate the fastball too much, then you don't have to lift that back elbow as much, and you can just put an easy swing on it. Colson not wearing socks. It's like he's got a football uniform on. The pitch to Javier Ibarra is a strike, a fastball on the outside corner. And it's 0-1. The bases are reloaded. But the Beat Diggers can get out of this virtually unscathed. The wind and the 0-1. Fastball is grounded right side to Sharman, the first baseman. He's got it, runs to the bag, and the inning is over. A sloppy inning pitching-wise, but Terry Steiner with an outstanding job of getting out of it. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and the bases were left loaded. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Brush 1, and Bennett coming to bat on 1010 KSIR. Let's introduce you to the Cargill Meat Solutions starting lineup as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Bennett's in the lead 1-0. Dustin Bass, the shortstop, will hit first. Center fielder Anthony Gonzalez will hit second. Josh Gutierrez, the third hitter, is the second baseman today. The cleanup hitter, catcher Travis Bass. Batting fifth, the left fielder Matt Ely, the pitcher. Terry Steiner will hit sixth. Third baseman Cameron Alexander hits seventh. The first baseman Eddie Sharman hits eighth, and right fielder Michael Cummings hits ninth. For Bennett defensively, Mike Scherer at first, Shane Colson at second. Over at third is Nate McDonald, Kyle Damoni at short. Around the outfield in left is Sean Ronan, C.J. Stemo in center, Mike Sigmund in right. Behind the plate is Brad LeSean. And like Brush, Bennett going with their ace right-hander, Charlie Goodnight.
Now to bat, shortstop, Dustin Bass.
Here is Dustin Bass hitting .371. Right-handed hitter with an open stance, and the pitch. And that one is right there down the middle for a strike, just below the waist. And it's 0-1. Goodnight will take some oomph off those fastballs and get the Beat Diggers off balance. The pitch, that's in the dirt all the way to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bennett scored in the top half of the first on 3 walks and a sac fly. The wind, the 1-1 to Bass. And the breaking ball is in the dirt, 2-1. A short arm breaking ball. Anytime a pitcher changes the way he delivers a breaking ball, and I'm not talking about the snap, but slows down his arm motion, usually it will not be a strike. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and drilled into the right center field gap. That ball's going to roll for a while. C.J. Stemo now chases it down, but Dustin Bass is into second with a leadoff double. That ball was scorched by Bass. And for Dustin, that's his second double of the year, and that'll bring up Anthony Gonzalez. Gonzalez hitting .317. He's driven in 5. He's got a shot here. Open stance from the right side. The pitch swung on and chopped towards the shortstop. Damoni has it on the second hop. Goes high to first and over the first baseman's head. That was headed for the dugout, but hit the bottom partition there that prevents the ball from going into the dugout, so they get a break. Bennett gets a break. It is an error.
Second baseman, Josh
but just a one-base error as Bass heads into third. Boy, there's maybe not even an inch of cement on the bottom part of that dugout that prevents the ball from sailing into the dugout and deflected off of that and ricocheted back towards the first baseman. So the Beat Diggers with runners at the corners for Josh Gutierrez, a .500 hitter, 5 homers, and 21 runs batted in. He hit Resurrection Christian pitching on Saturday when nobody could. Gonzalez has to watch out over there at first base. The statistics not in his favor. 3 out of 6 stolen bases this year. The pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball above the letters to Gutierrez. It's 0-1. He wanted to make this a 3-1 game in a hurry. I doubt Gonzalez is going with the best hitter on the team at the plate. Throw back to first. Oh, a little bit close, but he's back in diving. Boy, Ryan's right. You got to stay there. I mean, you cannot get thrown out with nobody out and the third-place hitter up there, who's an RBI machine. Fake to third, and now the throw to first, and Gonzalez back in diving, and he was leaning towards second. I'm telling you, momentarily, Ryan and I are going to need a shrink. You know. No balls and 1 strike. Gonzalez with a 3-step lead. That's still a fairly hefty lead. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. With Travis Bass on deck, followed by Matt Ely and Terry Steiner. The Beat Diggers primed for a big first inning. They've won 6 straight here at Sunset Park. And the 1-1 runner going. Swung on and drilled into the left center field gap. C.J. Stemmel's over. It's over his head. Gonzalez will race all the way to third. Let's see if he can score. Gonzalez is being waved home, and Gonzalez is going to score on the 2-run double by Josh Gutierrez. A perfect hit and run, and the Beat Diggers lead 2-1 in the bottom of the first inning. Gutierrez now with 23 runs batted in.
Now it's back. Catcher Travis Bass.
Boy, Goodnight just hanging pitches out over the plate. And here comes Travis Bass. The Beat Diggers have come to hit today. Bass now hitting .400. Gutierrez was hitting .500 before that at bat. The pitch and the curveball is a beauty on the outside corner at the knees for a strike. Bass has driven in 17. That's second on the team, obviously behind Josh. Gutierrez with a 3-step lead, now stretching it out. Watch out for the shortstop, Damoni, behind him. The pitch, and the fastball is off the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. A double, a huge Bennett error, and another double. Keep in mind that if these teams defeat all the other teams within their division and they split, then the next tiebreaker would be run differential. Throw back to second, Gutierrez back in. So winning is just not important in these games, but winning big. You have to use the tiebreaker to your advantage, or tiebreakers. The pitch, the curveball is hit into center field. C.J. Stemo is right there, and he leaps and makes the catch. He's headed towards third. A perfect throw as Gutierrez has to hold at second. Bass tagged that baseball, but right to the center fielder, Stemo, who's an outstanding center fielder, perhaps the best in the Patriot League. Matt Ely has home run power, 2 homers and 10 RBIs, hitting .325. He's the 5th-place hitter in this lineup. The Beat Diggers in the lead 2-1 in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch to Ely. Squares to bunt, lays it down, back towards the pitcher, picks it up, throws to first, in time, advancing to third is Gutierrez. And no sacrifice there. Looked like he was actually bunting for a hit because it was more of a drag bunt, but it didn't have a drag bunt effect. Now Steiner the hitter with 2 down and Gutierrez at third. Steiner hitting .500. He is driven in 17. The pitch swung on and driven into the right center field gap. That ball's going to sail well over the head of the right fielder, Sigmund. Steiner's headed for second. This could be a close play. Steiner slides. He's in there with an RBI double. Josh Gutierrez scores, and the Beat Diggers lead 3-1. The Beat Diggers trying to duplicate what
Alexander.
Resurrection Christian did to them. Resurrection Christian had 6 doubles in the first inning. The Beat Diggers are halfway there. Here's Cameron Alexander. He's slumping big time at 258. He hits with a close stance from the right side, and the pitch, and the breaking ball down and in. Alexander leads his team, being hit by 7 pitches, but he also leads being fanned 8 times. The stretch, and the 1-0, swung on and grounded weakly towards the third baseman. This should be an easy play throw to first, and Alexander is retired as McDonald puts him away. But the Beat Diggers do score 3 times in the inning. They do it on 3 base hits, an error, and 1 man left. We go to the second. It's Brush 3, Bennett 1. This is 10-10 KSIR. In the second. And now the batter will be the 9th place hitter, Nate McDonald. Steiner threw fairly well in the first, but he walked 3 hitters, and that was the problem. The pitch. Fastball swung on and missed above the letters. It's 0-1. Bennett did commit a big error in the bottom of the first inning, and that opened the floodgates a little bit for Brush. The pitch. Down. 1 ball and 1 strike. If you get C.J. Stemo up there, an outstanding hitter with 2 out and nobody on, then you've done your job if you're Terry Steiner. Pitch home. That's up and in. 2-1. Can't relax right now with the 9th place hitter up there. Anybody can burn you in this Bennett lineup. The wind and the 2-1 to McDonald. Swung on and missed. He threw the fastball right by the right-handed hitting third baseman, and it's 2-2. I'd like to say hello to some of our listeners in Bennett as well as all the Beat Digger fans listening in. The wind, the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out on a fastball letter high. That's the second strikeout issued by Steiner. And here's C.J. Stemo, who walked and scored in the opening inning. Stemo has a 3-home run game in his career at Bennett. That came a year ago. He's had a few taters this year. The wind and pitch. Fastball is fouled off to the right, late on the Steiner fastball, and it's 0-1. With Mike Sigmund waiting to hit next. Steiner ready. Bass setting up on the outside corner. The wind, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball is fouled back. That's the first curveball that Steiner's thrown for a strike. An excellent pitch, and maybe he's got Stemo set up right now. No balls and 2 strikes. In the top of the second, the Beat Diggers lead 3-1. The pitch, fastball high. It is 1-2. Righty against righty. Even stance for Stemo. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. It's going to be hard to strike out Stemo. This is a contact hitter. He swings at very good pitches. He doesn't miss too many. He's a Josh Gutierrez type of hitter. And the 1-2. Swung on and missed. He did strike him out, and Steiner fans his 3rd in this game. And the 2nd of the inning, a quick inning, as Steiner puts away Bennett on only 11 pitches. 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning from Sunset Park. It's Brush 3, Bennett 1. This is 10-10 KSIR. Here we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning with the Beat Diggers in the lead 3-1. Eddie Sharman, Michael Cummings, and Dustin Bass will hit 8, 9, and 1 against Charlie Goodnight. He gave up 3 runs, and he only threw 15 pitches in the first. That tells you how aggressive the Beat Diggers were with 7 hitters up there. The fastball low and away. Sharman hitting .269. The pitch swung on and foul tip behind the plate. The count even at 1-1. Sharman, one of the few Beat Diggers that is in the starting lineup often who is not homered. But he's a good contact hitter. The pitch swung on and missed on a ball up and in. Maybe took something off it, and it's 1-2. As an outstanding contact hitter, he's only struck out twice this year. opening the stance. 1-2. Swung on in line into right center field. That is a base hit for Eddie Sharman. And the Beat Diggers, for the second straight inning, get the leadoff man on.
Now up to bat.
That sets up Michael Cummings. Cummings got a base hit on Saturday against right-hander Ryan Pauly of Resurrection Christian. He's now at .333, 2 homers and 12 runs batted in. And he's the only Beat Digger hitting from the left side in this lineup. And his stance is wide, wide open. Short lead at first, the pitch, squaring to bunt, lays it down towards the third base side. It's going to be picked up by McDonald, the third baseman. He'll have no play. Oh, Michael Cummings with an outstanding bunt. Right in between 3 players.
Now up to bat. Shortstop, Dustin Bass.
The Beat Diggers have the first 2 men on. And here is Dustin Bass, who doubled and scored. At second is Sharman. At first is Cummings. Goodnight stretches. And the pitch. And the curveball is a little bit low. That's the way he'll get these Beat Diggers off balance. With that bender, if he can throw it for a strike. Bass with an open stance. 1-0 pitch. And the curveball is a little bit inside. Just missed. It's 2-0. Even if Bass swung at that pitch, you wouldn't have hit it anywhere. That left foot was already committed. The 2-0 pitch. That fastball is low and away. It's 3-0 with Anthony Gonzalez on deck. And keep in mind, Josh Gutierrez in the hole. That's a dangerous hitter to have in the hole. It'll be a 3-0 squaring to bunt, and he takes it low. It's a 4-pitch walk to Dustin Bass. And for Bass, he's now tied for the team lead with 11 walks.
Now it's Bass, center fielder, Anthony Gonzalez.
And here's Anthony Gonzalez. Gonzalez reached on an error by the shortstop Damoni in the opening inning. They're looking for the double play in the middle. In on the corners. Goodnight will wind, and the pitch. And the curveball is a beauty on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Boy, that thing just dropped. Gonzalez ready. Big hitter for Brush. And that pitch in the dirt. It appeared that Goodnight was going with the same pitch. It's 1-1. Well, the Beat Diggers can break this game open early. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Swung on and hit up the middle. That could be a double play. The shortstop, Damoni, has it, steps in the bag. 1, throws to first. That's 2. A run does score. Advancing to third is Cummings. No RBI as Sharman crosses home plate. The Beat Diggers lead 4-1, but they might have taken themselves out of a big inning. Gutierrez with a 2-run double in the first inning.
Josh Gutierrez.
And he's got an RBI opportunity 90 feet away. Gutierrez awaits. The curveball is hit high and deep into left field. Going way back is Colson. Forget about it. It is a home run for Josh Gutierrez. Over the head of Sean Ronan, that is. Gutierrez now with his 6th dinger of the year on a slow curve. He's driven in 4 in this game, and the Beat Diggers extend the lead to 6-1. Gutierrez must be a golfer. That thing was hit very high and deep.
Now batting, catcher Travis Bass.
Boy, now that double play could loom even larger for Bennett because they're relatively still in the game. 25 runs batted in for Gutierrez. The pitch, low and away. If he's not having an all-state year, I don't want to hear this all-conference garbage, an all-state year, I don't know who is. 1 ball and no strikes, and the pitch. Fastball low and away. It's 2-0. Bass popped to center in the opening frame. The 2-0 to TB. Curveball is in the dirt. 3-0. Well, give Goodnight credit. He wanted to keep Gutierrez off balance, but Gutierrez kept the hands back and did not commit with that front foot. And he just put some aluminum on that one. Fastball upstairs, and that should be ball 4, and Travis finding out about it right now. Second walk of the inning to a Bass. And here's Matt Ely, who grounded back to the mound on a bunt attempt.
Left fielder Matt Ely.
And Gutierrez, who has hit 6 home runs this year, has not been cheated on any of those swings. From the moment that ball was hit, it was just a matter of how much distance. The Bead Diggers as a team now have 19 dingers. The pitch, Ely takes it for a strike, an off-speed pitch on the outside corner at the knees, and it's 0-1. Brush has scored 3 runs in each of the first 2 innings against Charlie Goodnight. 2-step lead at first. And the 0-1 runner going in the dirt, and no play over there. No way that LeSean could even throw it. Perfect pitch to run on, the count even at 1-1. And for Travis Bass, that's his 6th stolen base in 7 attempts. If Ely can find a gap, the Beat Diggers can extend the lead even more. The pitch, curveball, is a gorgeous pitch down the middle. And it's 1-2. Ely's got to watch out for that bender again. 1-2 pitch in the dirt with a fastball. The count even at 2-2. Big inning for the Beat Diggers to score multiple runs because the heart of the order coming up in the third for Bennett. 2-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. They're going to have to throw it. Ely. LeSean does so, and the inning is over. That's a strikeout officially for Charlie Goodnight, his first. But the Beat Diggers score 3 times. They do it on 3 base hits. One of them a 2-run homer from Josh Gutierrez. No errors and a man left. We go to the third. Brush 6, Bennett 1 on 1010 KSIR. Has to pitch like it's a 0-0 game. Remember that margin of victory is going to be very, very important. The pitch, fastball is the strike, okay. On the outside corner, letter high, and it's 1-1. Steiner getting the sign, and he will kick and fire. Fastball is grounded sharply towards short off of Bass, but he picks it up. He throws to first, and that's in time. Dustin Bass recovers nicely as the ball ricocheted off to his left, but only about a few inches, and he was able to make the play.
Now batting first.
That's 5 in a row. Retired by Terry Steiner. Here is Mike Shearer, the first baseman. He walked in the opening inning. A very solid right-handed hitter for Bennett. Steiner will kick and fire, and a fastball on the outside corner for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Now open 24/7. Stubbs Gas and Oil is your full-time home for gas, food, or other refreshments. Stubbs Gas and Oil swung on and fouled back with a fastball, and it's 0-2. Now the only problem with an 0-2 is if you're trying to set up the hitter with a curveball and that curveball doesn't snap off right. Might be more advised to go to a fastball up in the zone rather than a breaking ball. 0-2 pitch. Fastball is fouled off. He did go up in the zone. Outstanding pitch by Steiner. Scherer was able to get a piece of it. One down here on the top of the third, with Brush in the lead 6-1. The winner of this game takes a 1-game lead in the Patriot League East. A 2-strike count to Scherer. Steiner comes home. Curveball swung over and missed. Well out in front was Mike Scherer, an outstanding bender by Terry Steiner. And there are 2 down. That's strikeout number 4.
Brad LeSean.
Here is Brad LeSean, the catcher. He walked in the first. That's 6 straight retired by Steiner. The wind and the pitch. Fastball right there on the outside corner for a strike at the knees. And it's 0-1. Travis Bass continuing to set up on the outside corner. Swung on and missed. He tied him up and in with a fastball. It's 0-2. Steiner looks virtually untouchable right now. Is he going to climb the ladder? 0-2 pitch. He does, and it's a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Steiner working quickly. That's why the defense is not even moving out there. They're on their toes. The 1-2 to LeSean. swung on and hit very high into left center field. Anthony Gonzalez ranges over to his right, is under it, makes the grab. The inning is over. The second straight 1-2-3 for Terry Steiner. We played 2.5 innings from Sunset Park. It's Brush 6, Bennett 1. You're listening to 1010 KSIR. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning from Sunset Park with Brush leading Bennett 6-1. The Bay Diggers will have Terry Steiner, Cameron Alexander, and Eddie Sharman coming up in this frame against right-hander Charlie Goodnight, who has labored through 2 innings. He has allowed 6 base hits. The problem is 2 of them by Josh Gutierrez have produced 4 RBIs, a 2-run double and a 2-run homer. He's also given up 2 other doubles and 2 singles. And every beat digger, with the exception of Steiner, who has reached base via the base hit, has scored. He's also walked a couple and struck out 1, so not the best outing so far for Charlie Goodnight. But let's see if he can recover here in the third. With that RBI double in the first, Steiner now 21 of 41. The wind of the pitch, and he takes that off-speed pitch high. A little changeup thrown by Goodnight. It's 1-0. Steiner right on top of that plate. He doesn't get cheated in the strike zone. The pitch, and that ball nearly hit him. A fastball underneath the elbows. 2 balls and no strikes. The Bay Diggers had their 8-game winning streak snapped on Saturday and now trying to start a new one. And the curveball is in the dirt. 3-0. That's been the problem for Goodnight. The leadoff hitter reached in each of the first 2 innings. And now here in the third, Steiner is ahead in the count 3-0. Make it 3-1. That fastball down the middle at the knees. Alexander's on deck. The wind, the 3-1 pitch, and that in the dirt on the breaking ball. A 5-pitch walk to Terry Steiner, the third issued by Goodnight.
Now batting third baseman, Cameron Alexander.
Here's Alexander. Now I wonder if he might be playing some small ball here. Derek Witherspoon will run for Terry Steiner. Alexander down to 250. And again, a lot of that is because of the inside pitch, totally vulnerable to that pitch. But let's see if he can move the runners over, or the runner over. The stretch and a pitch, and the breaking ball is upstairs. Nate McDonald in at third base. If Alexander gets a pitch out over the plate, that's in his wheelhouse. That's what he's looking for. And he's backing off the plate a little bit right now. That might actually help him throw back to first. Back in diving is Witherspoon. And let's see if this helps Alexander. He's backing off that plate a little bit, and that opens up the hitting zone. He's been closer to the plate and past at bats. And that changeup is upstairs, 2-0. Eddie Sharman, who singled and scored in his first at bat, is waiting to hit next. Witherspoon with a 2.5-step lead. 2-0 pitch, runner going, is outside with a fastball, throw to second, is up the second base side, and an easy stolen base standing for Witherspoon. Now it is 3-0 to Alexander. And you wonder how much more Goodnight has left. He hasn't thrown a lot, but he's not getting it over. The stretch and the 3-0 pitch. That one is on the outside corner with a fastball for a strike. Now Alexander's got to watch when he steps into this pitch now. 3-1. Yeah, he's backing off that plate. That's good strategy for him. The pitch. And he takes a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. That was definitely a pitcher's pitch, not one that he wanted to swing at. But now he'll have no choice at 3-2. Alexander awaits. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. He threw the fastball right by Cameron. And there's one down here in the third. And it appeared Alexander was trying to actually go the other way.
Eddie Sharman.
Eddie Sharman, 1 for 1 in this one. That average climbing slowly. And the pitch squaring to bunt, lays it down foul. No balls and 1 strike. Jay Rudell in the house. Jay, that's a baseball field. Just well, Michael Cummings on deck. No balls and 1 strike. And they throw back to second, and Witherspoon back in. The Beat Diggers with 3 in the first and second innings. Yeah. Love covering Beat Digger basketball. That was a lot of fun this year with that state tournament appearance. And the 0-1 squaring to bunt, lays it down towards the mound, picked up by Goodnight. He'll throw to first with a second baseman covering over his head and down the line. Sharman is going to head to second. Witherspoon will score. Eddie Sharman is rounding second, and he will stay right there as the throw comes in strongly to third. And on the air, the Beat Diggers have extended the lead. It's 7-1. And that error on the pitcher, Goodnight, Bennett's second error of the game.
Now batting right fielder, Michael Cummings.
Here is Michael Cummings. And Joe Stemmel will pay a visit to the mound. Let's see if Goodnight is going to stay in there. He didn't help himself out there. The second baseman, Shane Colson, was over there, but the ball was simply thrown over his head and wide of the target. And probably still a hangover for Bennett from that 6-1 loss to Frederick on Thursday. Michael Cummings singled and scored. He laid down that gorgeous bunt in the second inning. The Beat Diggers up by 6. With Sharman at second. A short lead for him. Goodnight stretches. And the pitch swung on and missed. Cummings could not catch up to that fastball. It's 0-1. The pitch home. Curveball is lined into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Sharman had to hold up to see if that ball would be caught, and he's going to stay at third base. That ball hit off the fist by Cummings, but had enough power to get over the infield. And the Beat Diggers have picked up their 7th hit of the game, and that'll send up Dustin Bass.
Shortstop, Dustin Bass.
Bass doubled and scored and then walked in the second, so his third at bat in as many innings. A big RBI opportunity for Dustin Bass. The stretch. Throw back to first. They have Cummings caught. He's in ahead to second. He'll be caught in a hot box. Sharman heading home. The throw is going to be low, and it skips by the catcher. Getting behind him, and Cummings rounding second. He's headed towards third, and the throw is not going to be made. He's in there sliding. Another error by Bennett in this inning, and the Beat Diggers now lead 8-1. And that error on the shortstop, Damoni, on that throw home, it short-hopped the catcher. Boy, and Bennett coming apart at the seams here. Meanwhile, for Dustin Bass, here's the pitch to him. Curveball, a strike on the outside corner at the knees. Again, margin of victory, very important in this series. Because if the Beat Diggers happen to lose in Bennett, they need to win big here to have a tiebreaker edge. The pitch, curveball, is a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dustin Bass 1 for 1 in this game. The pitch, fastball right there on the outside corner. Thigh high, it's 1-2. Bass at 14 out of 36 for the year. That's around 380. The pitch, fastball is chopped left side, picked up by McDonald. He'll throw to first low, and that one gets by the first baseman down the right field side. Bass is going to have to hold up as he fell down. Cummings will cross home plate on the third error of the inning, and the Beat Diggers lead 9-1. That throw by McDonald was a little bit low. Could have been scooped out over there by the first baseman. Shear will call that an E5 since it was a low throw. No RBI.
Anthony Gonzalez.
Here's Anthony Gonzalez, who is 0 for 2. The pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Little changeup thrown by Charlie Goodnight. Gonzalez has scored once in this game. And the pitch, and he swings and hits a fly ball into right field. Should be an easy play for Sigmund to his right. Makes the two-handed grab, and there are 2 down for Josh Gutierrez. The question is, will Charlie Goodnight pitch around Gutierrez? Oh, what has Gutierrez done recently? A 2-run double and a 2-run homer against Resurrection Christian in his final 2 at-bats, 2 2-run doubles. The pitch, runner going. In the dirt, scooped up by LeSean, easy stolen base for Dustin Bass. So in his last 4 at-bats, Gutierrez is 4 for 4 with 8 runs batted in. And that's the problem. Excellent move there by head coach Joe Stemo. Once the Beat Digger stole that base, he was not going to allow Gutierrez to hit, and that'll be an intentional walk.
Now batting pitcher.
Well, that's when the stolen base backfires, without a doubt. You want to run, but when you run and there's 2 down in an inning, there's no way your best hitter, as hot as he is going to get to swing the bat. Travis Bass popped to center and walked. The pitch, runner going to third. Curveball is outside all the way to the screen. It'll be a stolen base for both. Bass going to third and Gutierrez at second. Now Travis Bass with a base hit can drive in 2. This is the 8th hitter of the inning. The Beat Diggers have just 1 hit in the frame, but they do lead 9-1. They scored 3 times. The 1-0 pitch. The curveball in the dirt. It's 2-0, and Matt Ely's on deck. And Ely lately has struggled a bit. In this game, he's grounded out and struck out. He didn't hit too badly on Saturday, even though he was 0 for 2. 2-0 pitch. Fastball scooped up there by Brad LeSean. Well, if he walks Bass, this would be the 3rd walk of the inning, 2 unintentional. And 5th of the game for Charlie Goodnight. The 3-0. Right there for a strike at the knees. Down the middle, 3-1. Travis Bass settling back into the box. 3 balls and 1 strike. Goodnight winds and fires. And he short-armed it. It's a walk to Bass, and the bases are loaded for Ely. Joe Stemo will pay another visit, and this could be it.
Now batting left
This
fielder,
pitching
Matt
conference
Ely.
and perhaps a pitching change brought to you by Corf Continental. This should be the 2nd visit of the inning, if my memory stands correct. Maybe it's just his first of this inning. Stop by and see Randy Getman or Levi Bauer at Corf Continental. Hometown deals with a big city selection at Corf Continental. Yeah, just the first visit of the inning. You can visit as many times as you want, but if you make a 2nd visit in the same inning, then the pitcher has to be removed. Joe Stemo believing that he's not on his game today, that he's not throwing his game. Well, no doubt about it. It's been rough for Charlie Goodnight. Let's see if Matt Ely can make him pay. With the bases loaded and a 9-1 Brush lead. At third is Bass. That's Dustin. At second, Josh Gutierrez and Travis Bass at first. Brush has scored 3 runs in each of the first 3 innings. Ely's going to have to keep those hands back. Susceptible to the breaking ball so far. He lowers those pants. Maybe better luck there. And the curveball is lined up the middle for a base hit. Outstanding job by Matt Ely. Dustin Bass scores. Josh Gutierrez rounding third. He is going to score. Runner going to third. Travis slides. He's in there with a 2-run single by Matt Ely. The Beat Diggers with 5 across in the third. They lead 11-1. And Stemo bobbled the ball out there in center, allowing Travis to go to third. So that'll be a single, a 2-run single, and the 4th error of the inning.
Now batting, pitcher Terry Steiner.
Here is Terry Steiner, hitting for the 2nd time in this inning. The stretch, throw back, nope. Looking to third, but that was just that fake third to first deal. When Matt Ely coming up huge there. What a nice adjustment. That just tells you one thing about him. He is very intelligent. And the pitch squaring to bunt, and that's taken for a strike. No throw to second. Ely in there standing. Well, the Beat Diggers are stealing bases at will in this game, in this inning. That's their 4th stolen base of the inning. The Wine, the 0-1. Curveball swung over and missed. It's 0-2. Steiner out in front a little bit as well. Steiner trying to protect. 1 for 1 in this game. 0-2 pitch. Fastball is fouled back. A late swing, but again, he was just choking up and making sure he was on top of that plate, not letting anything get by him. 0-2 to Steiner. Runners at second and third. And the pitch home. And that is low and away with a breaking ball, 1-2. NC Plus, your leader in agriculture, bringing you the finest seed varieties for today and the future. That's NC Plus. And the 1-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. And was that caught? No, they'll have to throw him out, and Steiner is thrown out, and the strikeout is officially recorded. However, the Beet Diggers score 5 times, and they do it on only 2 base hits, 4 Bennett errors, and 2 Beet Diggers left in scoring position. We played 3 innings. The score, Brush 11, Bennett 1 on 1010 KSIR. Run, the pitch, fastball on the outside corner at the knees for a strike. Damoni with an open stance from the right side. And the 0-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. He threw the BB right by him. It's 0-2. Let's see if Steiner can put him away on 3 pitches. He does. Fastball swung on and missed. On the outside corner at the letters. And Steiner now with strikeout number 5. 1 down here in the 4th. Morgan Medical will take care of your sports medicine needs. They also offer back braces, walkers, canes, medical alert bracelets, home oxygen equipment, and much more. Morgan Medical, 201 Main in Fort Morgan, popped up in foul territory, and that one must be headed out of the play. I don't even see it. I was just looking out for my own head there. It's 0-1. Well, had it come anywhere near us, Ryan had his right hand out ready to make a basket catch. Colson had the only base hit for Bennett in this game. Pitch home. Breaking ball is a beauty on the outside corner at the knees. That thing was unhittable, and it's 0-2. Boy, Steiner really looking like a pitcher in this one, not necessarily a thrower. It'll be an 0-2 to Colson. Swung on and popped up. The second baseman, Gutierrez, backing up, and the outfield still backing up, and he makes a one-handed catch over the left shoulder. And there are 2 down as he tumbles over. Boy, outstanding play by the Beet Diggers' second baseman. Steiner now has retired 9 in a row. And here is Javier Ibarra. The 7th place hitter in the lineup. With an open stance. The wind and the pitch. Fastball right there on the outside corner for a strike. Well, summer is fast approaching, and the time is now to take care of your lawn. The wind and the 0-1. That swung on and grounded left side. The shortstop bass deep in the hole is going to slide. He's going to throw to first. That'll be late, and it skips by the first baseman, but off the bottom of the dugout, it'll just be an infield hit. Ibarra cannot advance. Second hit of the game for Bennett. Like I said, summer is fast approaching, and the time is right now to take care of your lawn. Fort Morgan Hardware guarantees the lowest prices, and they also offer installation help. Stop by and see Brian Lucas at Fort Morgan Hardware on the corner of Main and Kiowa in downtown Fort Morgan. That's Fort Morgan Hardware. The pitch. Strike. A fastball down the middle to Sean Ronan. It's 0-1. That ended the string of 9 consecutive Tigers retired by Steiner, but it took an infield hit to do that, and that fastball's right there on the outside corner. 0-2. Boy, Steiner really getting on top of that fastball. Ronan is 0 for 1. The pitch. Fastball upstairs. Well, Travis Bass must be having fun behind the plate. It's got to be easy to catch this game. He's seeing virtually nothing but strikes. And the 1-2. Swung on and hit into foul territory in the air. Sharman to his left reaches out, and he makes a beautiful basket catch right in front of the batting cage, and the inning is over. The Beet Diggers with some stellar defense in the top of the 4th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. A man left. 3.5 in the books. Brush 11, Bennett 1 on 1010 KSIR. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Beet Diggers in the lead 11-1. It'll be Cameron Alexander, Eddie Sharman, and Michael Cummings up for Brush in this inning. Don't let the high gas prices make a huge dent in your checkbook. Do yourself a little favor. Save money in the long run with a MotorVac carbon clean service from your factory-trained automotive specialist, Automotive Innovations 515 Commerce in Fort Morgan. That is enough with a barbecue smell. That is killing me. I could eat this table right now, Ryan. That is too much. Alexander grounded a third and struck out, and the pitch is upstairs. Charlie Goodnight beginning his fourth inning of work. He's thrown only 70 pitches. I say only. That's not a lot for allowing 11 runs, and obviously a lot of them unearned. Goodnight steps off. But Bennett has been their own worst enemy at times. 1-0 pitch, swung on and driven very foul. Home run distance. One of the best swings of the year by Cameron Alexander. He tatered that ball. Wow, that was hit a mile, and it would have been his second home run of the year had they extended the foul line about 75 feet off to our left. Wind the 1-1 pitch. Curveball, a beauty on the outside corner at the knees. And the count is 1-2. 7, 8, and 9 for Brush here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Goodnight looking in, the pitch, swung on and missed. He got him on the upstairs fastball in the inside corner. Alexander strikes out for the second straight time. There's one down for Eddie Sharman, who is 1 for 2, but he scored twice. And
first baseman,
that at bat marked the first time in this game the Beat Diggers did not have the leadoff man on. Pitch to Sharman. Fastball is high. Again, this inning is important simply because of run differential. If the Beat Diggers lose in Bennett, and that proves to be a tiebreaker, they want to beat Bennett by as much as they can. Popped up into short left center field. The left fielder is coming in to his left end. Making the catch is Sean Ronan. And there are 2 down. 2 down for Michael Cummings. Stop by and see Tim Weimer about all of your title needs. Northern Colorado Title in Fort Morgan.
Right fielder Michael Cummings.
Cummings has singled twice and scored twice. The wind, the pitch, squaring to bunt, and he misses the fastball, which was a ball, but because he went for it, it's a strike. No balls and 1 strike. After the game, we'll talk to Brush head coach Mark Muniz. Pitch home. Upstairs. 1-1. The Beat Diggers can make this a 4.5-inning game, even if they don't score here in the fourth, by just shutting down Bennett in the fifth. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. The pitch, and that breaking ball is low. 2-1. Cummings has been elevating that average. Now 13 out of 35. Still shy of 400, but close. Fastball up and away. It's 3-1. Goodnight has walked 5 in the game. Cummings awaiting the 3-1 pitch, closing that stance a bit. And that fastball up and away. Walk number 6 for Goodnight.
Shortstop, Dustin Bass.
There's Dustin Bass, who is 1 for 2. He doubled, walked, and reached on an error. He has scored twice in the game and stolen a couple of bases. Goodnight throws back to first. That one's low. Cummings back in. This is probably the nicest weather day of the year. Not too hot, not too cold. The sun is out. Wind not blowing too much. And the pitch. Swing and a miss out in front of that changeup. It's 0-1. Gonzalez waits to hit next. Cummings with a lead. He's going. The pitch. Curveball low and away. And an easy stolen base for Michael Cummings. That's his first of the game and his 7th of the year. Bass settling back in. He's got the RBI opportunity at second. Goodnight stretches. And the offering. Fastball swung on and fouled back. That was up around the neck. And Bass tried to catch up to it. Now he's down to the count 1-2. Fort Morgan and Fort Lupton playing on B106. Eddie Underwood Field, Pat O'Rourke describing that game. The stretch and the 1-2. Swung on and popped up into shallow right field. The second baseman, Colson, is backing up and makes the two-handed grab, backpedaling his way towards the right fielder, Sigmund. The inning is over. No runs on no hits, no errors, and a man left. We head to the fifth inning. Brush 11, Bennett 1. You're listening to 10 and KSIR. Well, the Beat Diggers performing some magic here with Terry Steiner. After struggling in the first inning and throwing 32 pitches and walking 3 batters, has thrown just 34 pitches in the last 3 innings, and in that span has struck out 4. He's got 5 Ks in the game, has not walked a hitter since the first, and has retired 10 of the last 11 Tigers, including the current hitter, Nate McDonald, who struck out in the second. The wind and the pitch. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner at the knees. As the Beat Diggers hold Bennett scoreless in this frame, the game will be over. It'll be one of the shorter games of the year, even time-wise. The pitch swung on and missed. Right now, McDonald unable to catch up to the Steiner fastball. No reason to think he won't throw it again. It's 0-2. Steiner has at least 1 strikeout in every inning. The pitch swung on and missed. A strikeout led her high. And on 3 pitches, McDonald is eliminated, and there's 1 down. And here's C.J. Stemo.
Now batting center fielder, C.J. Stemo.
Stemo is 0 for 1. Walked and struck out. Pitch home. Fastball is up and in. Fort Lupton leading Fort Morgan 3-1. And the 6th inning on B106. A game in Fort Morgan. The wind, the pitch. Stemo swings and misses at a powerful fastball thrown by Steiner. It's 1-1. Mike Sigmund is on deck. Stemo back in, and the pitch. And the fastball's upstairs, 2-1. Might have tried to hook that one in. Boy, Steiner can save lots of pitches on that arm if he just retires his team in order. The pitch swung on and missed. He threw that fastball down the middle and just challenged Stemo, power against power. Steiner now at 2-2 against Stemo. Closing the stance. And the pitch. Curveball swung over and missed, and Steiner is looking like Nolan Ryan right now. Another strikeout. That is number 7, 2 down in the 5th. And here is Mike Sigmund, who has struck out and grounded to short.
Right fielder, Mike Sigmund.
I mean, this is just an incredible performance from Terry Steiner. The pitch, fastball upstairs. He's retired 12 of the last 13, and quite frankly, nobody's come close to a base hit. And the pitch, oh, he's short on that in the dirt. Well, the last out is the hardest to get, even when you're up 10. It is 2-0. You can bet that when they play in Bennett, the Tigers will hit the ball a lot better. The pitch, fastball up and away. 3 balls and no strikes. This is righty against lefty. And Steiner kicks and fires, and that's well outside. He has walked his first hitter since the opening inning.
Now at the bat, first baseman Mike Shearer.
Committed to serving those in production ag, Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. That's Premier Farm Credit. Bobby Guzman will pay a visit to the mound. He wants to make sure that Steiner is still focused on that last out. Shearer is a home run hitter, no question about it. He can extend the game with one big swing here, or just a base hit in the hole. I'm talking not in the infield hole, but in the gap in the outfield. If they score 1, this game will go to a bottom of the 5th inning, but for now, with 2 down, Mike Sigmund's at first. And Mike Shearer, who has walked and struck out, will step in. Remember that for financial needs, think Okeson and Associates, 842-5722, Okeson and Associates. And next door, wash your vehicle at the Corner Car Wash. Steiner gets a sign. And the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. That was over the letters, but Shearer wanted to try to hit it anyway, and he missed it. Stretch in the 0-1. Swung on and missed again. over the letters and neck high, and it's 0-2. Boy, when a guy is throwing that hard and you're throwing it that high, hard to catch up to. 0-2 pitch, swung on. Nope, swung on. That was the anticipatory feeling. Certainly not what happened. Taken very high. Bass had to catch it standing up. The stretch, and the 1-2 pitch runner going. Swung on and missed on the breaking ball. Steiner full shear, and the inning is over. The Beat Diggers have won the game as Steiner strikes out the side. A masterful performance by Terry Steiner. They win the game 11-1. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with the Ebenezer Lutheran Care Center Beat Digger post-game show. This is 1010 KSIR. John Beltran back at Sunset Park and Brush. Final scores, we welcome you to the Ebenezer Lutheran Care Center Beat Digger post-game show. The Beat Diggers win by a score of 11-1 as we're joined by head coach Mark Muniz. And, Coach, what can we say? Just probably the best game of the year your team has played, and you're coming off a big-time loss 48 hours ago. You got to be, super elated the way this team played in a divisional game.
Oh, yeah. That we knew, well, we really haven't put a game together, real good game. This might have been the first one all year that we put together a solid game. Saturday's game, well, told them not to bring it here today, bury it, come back, because we needed this one for the division.
Coach, I know it's not a one-man team with the way Josh Gutierrez has been hitting the ball and Terry Steiner pitched today, but, you've got a solid number one right now. There might have been doubts a few weeks ago, but how do you feel about the way he's been pitching? And it seems he is pitching and no longer just throwing.
Yeah, he's coming on. He's gotten through, I think, those games where he was, possibly getting behind hitters. You can see today that he didn't get behind too many of them, and that, I think that's what was essential for him today.
With the way your hitters approached Goodnight, he tried to throw some off-speed pitches. Was this as solid of an approach as you've seen from your hitters all season?
Oh yeah. They put it together today, and it's like you and I have talked before. It's the pitching, and it's got to be defense that's going to win it, and that's what won it today. Yeah,
no doubt about it. And now your schedule gets a little bit tougher after the Yuma doubleheader on Saturday. Are you still going to try to establish some pitching depth? I know that was part of the goal on Saturday, which didn't happen. Do you have to do that this Saturday?
Well, we're looking to do that again. But again, it's a thing that we get those kids in, anybody in trouble and that sort of thing, and then we'll bring in the guys that need to shut it down. And it's what I just told them. You can't stumble on Saturday, and we need that one next Thursday.
Mark, awesome one. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Beat Digger head coach Mark Muniz will wrap it up in 2 minutes on 1010 KSIR.